Good morning, early afternoon, however you want to put it. It is Sunday, and it's been a doozy of a weekend. Let's just put it that way. As y'all know, Friday was my colonoscopy, and the results are green. Basically, it's nothing to harp about, nothing to raise a flag about. No major problems. Most of the problems are just the cleanse was not 100%. It was about 99.9%. So other than that, doctors say I'm good. See you in 10 years. Which I'm kind of like, I thought this was a one-time deal, but, so in 10 years, yeah. And depending on what's going on or how I feel, depends on if I'm going to do it. I know a lot of people will be like, you should do it because the factor is just, good practice. Make sure everything's healthy in the gut. But I will tell you that once you go, for those of you who are either thinking about doing it or have not done it yet, I would suggest doing it. And it's real simple. It's really simple. You go into their pre-op and they set you up with an IV and ask you a bunch of questions. And once it's time for you to go into operation, they, excuse me, my eyes are really itchy this morning. They hook you up to sedation, and you get groggy and fall asleep. And next thing you know, you're waking up in recovery. And the only hard part for me about recovery is because the fact I was laying on my one side the whole time. It's caused it, because it's also allergy season. It caused a lot of phlegm and mucus buildup, and caused my bronchial problems, my bronchitis to flare up. So most of this weekend, after spending the rest of Friday and then into most of Saturday, basically about 24 hours, a little bit more to recover from the just feeling off. The minor side effects is, you get flu-like symptoms because of the fact that your whole body aches. And that's mostly because of the fact that you have not eaten you haven't had anything solid, let's just put it that way, in 24 hours. All you've been doing the day before the colonoscopy is drinking whatever fluids they suggest with Miralax. They basically told me two 32-ounce bottles worth of Gatorade, and spread the small bottle of Miralax between the two and drink that. You can have broth, but no noodles. So if you don't just take a can of beef broth or chicken broth and warm that up with whatever seasonings you want to put in there to make it taste more than just like bland broth, it's basically what I did. And it sustained me long enough to do the procedure, but once I was done with the procedure, it was like, feed me, and trying to stay warm because I was just like bone chill. I mean, I felt like I was freezing from the inside out. So it's one of those procedures where it's, it might not be that quick, but it's very easy on you. The nurses, the medical department did call my wife to let her know how everything went and what to expect, and let them, basically telling her, let me have 24 hours to recoup physically, and then just you know, this is what we did, and this is how it went, and blah, 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 you know, all that stuff that I would not be coherent enough to figure out because I was dazed and confused. And, you know, I didn't drive myself. Mom did, so she was there to pick me up. I was like, I can make it out there. And they're like, no, you're not. No, you get into a wheelchair. We'll wheel you out to your mom. So I was just like, okay, sure, whatever. I wasn't gonna argue because I was not in the frame of mind, let alone mood, to be argumentative. But it was simple. One of the things that Jerry told me that they told her was part of the procedure is to basically, and I'm gonna guess just because of the way the camera, you know, the pictures from the procedure, the pictures of my internal organs, yeah, you don't know what's happening, so you can only surmise or guess it. Just by the imagery, I was like, yeah, they went up my rump. It wasn't a, it wasn't a pill to swallow. It was, yeah. Anyhow, but I was like, oh, these are interesting pictures. This is what a person's intestinal organs and colon is supposed to look like on camera. I've watched plenty of medical shows with Jerry where they show you imagery from the internal workings of the human body. And yeah, it's interesting, but at the same time, it's like, oh, wait a minute, where is this picture coming from? What part of the body is this picture coming from? And how they get the camera there? Well, my imagination told me it went up my butt. But hey, you know what? I wasn't awake to fight it. I don't feel any different than I did before the procedure, other than being hungry and just, you know, feeling off. You know, yeah, you get like the chills and the hunger pains, and you know, and then of course beings that they literally, how did Jerry put it, they blew air up my rump, I guess, to make sure everything was cleaned out. So yeah, your first, I'm gonna say, you know, your first day or so worth of eating is going to come out liquidy. Excuse my, yeah, excuse all that. But it was not that bad. I thought it was going to be 10 times worse. And nah. You fall asleep, they do what they have to do. You don't know nothing. You don't remember nothing. You wake up going, hey, are we done yet? But it was a simple, quick, I wouldn't say quick, but it was a simple, easy procedure. I can think of other procedures I've had in my past that were not that easy. I think the fun part was when they put the mask over my face to keep me oxygen, yeah, oxygen and whatnot, and then they put another little tube under the mask up against my chin. I don't know what that was for, but I assume that was part of the anesthesia. Then they hook a little tube to your IV tube with a white, like a creamy white solution. I'm going to say that's probably part of the anesthesia as well. And as soon as that hit my system, it was like, ooh, wow, what did they give me? You know, it's like, ooh, they're giving me some of the good stuff. And then next thing I know, the doctor was asking me, are you feeling sleepy? And I'm like trying to keep my eyes open. I'm like, yep, I'm out. But it wasn't that bad. I mean, 10 years, who knows what my system's going to be like and what all they're going to have to do. So it was like, all I have to do is once in 10 years, I should be okay. But I'm just happy that everything came out clean, that there was no, polyps or anything that would raise a red flag. So here I am back at home dealing with some muscle cramps still, bronchial problems. The I guess the nurse that Jerry talked to on the phone said that the doctor highly suggests, or the doctor suggests, I don't know if it was highly or not, but the doctor suggested I do a sleep apnea test because of, I guess I was snoring, and then I woke up coughing and whatnot, phlegm and all that fun stuff. And Jerry did tell me that I do snore, so tomorrow I might call my main doctor and see if there's a way she can set up a sleep test. And hold on a second. Yes, I'm drinking coffee and Mountain Dew at the same time. The coffee helps bring the phlegm and loosens up the phlegm. The Mountain Dew helps me just rinse my throat, get it out of my throat. But I had someone ask what sleep apnea is, and instead of trying to explain it to her, because I don't fully understand what it is, I pulled up a website and sent it to that person. The reason why I did that is because the only thing I know what sleep apnea does is it's a sleep test. You go in there, they hook you up, you sleep in their test facility or their room or whatever, and it tests how much oxygen you're getting at nighttime, what's going on internally, like heart rate, sleep pattern, how much you're tossing and turning, all that fun stuff. I just know that if I do have sleep apnea, it's mostly induced probably by my allergies because I get dry mouth when I sleep because I'm not a nose breather because I have trouble sleeping breathing through my nose due to allergies. So I sleep with my mouth open. So I don't know. I have to let them run their tests and tell me what's going on, because if they put something that keeps my mouth from saying, like some of the devices I've seen for in-home machinery to help you breathe and keep you from having sleep apnea, actually presses on your jaw to keep your jaw from opening, but I can still breathe between my lips and whatnot, but we'll see. I'll let them make that determination if I need one of those CPAP machines or anything like that. I just hope they're quieter than the CPAP machine that Jerry had back in New York when they said she had sleep apnea. But then they did multiple tests, and she had that the CPAP machine for a couple months, and then they retested and said that everything is okay, that she doesn't need it no more, which I'm kind of glad, because it made a lot of noise, or it made enough noise to give me difficulty sleeping. So might have to end up doing that, but we'll see, because it's, like I said, I don't know that much about sleep apnea. That's why I put the webpage to go look at for this lady, the viewer, the subscriber, however you want to put it. So I apologize, because when I saw the message, it was like 11:30, something like that, and I have to get my sleep back, and I might have to do something I've only done once in a very, very long time, is to stay up for 24 hours or more just to get my sleep pattern back to a semi-norm. Because staying up until 1, almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and sleeping in until almost 10, 11 o'clock in the morning is not good for me. because then that means less time to do stuff during the daylight hours, because I don't want to do a lot of stuff later in the evening time because I don't want it to disturb Mom. But anywho, enough with the medical stuff, because sometimes it fries my brain, because I know these things because I've heard it, I've been told this information, and just trying to remember it all to transpire, to let you guys know what's going on. But other than that fun stuff, the weekend's been fairly interesting. I came home Friday, and once I was home, it was just like I did not have the strength or energy or anything like that to do even just simplified cooking. So I was in and out of sleep, which I know they say is not exactly a good thing for most people, because it could be problematic. But because I felt like I had the flu, my body's instant decision is to sleep, because the more I sleep, the faster I heal, type thing. But when it's one of these things where it's like, yes, you have the flu symptoms, but your body has no substance in its digestive system to give you energy, so you should be eating. So, but Saturday I made up for it. I slept, but I ate like there was no tomorrow. But all right, next subject I want to talk about was, I've noticed a lot of people like gung-ho for me going camping, and, me and Jerry getting out and camping and whatnot. I did notice that somebody was talking about how because of COVID, nobody was camping. So now that COVID is not considered a big problem, everybody's booking up their campsites and whatnot. The reason for what we're doing is twofold. One, yes, so we can go camping, but we don't have to go to a campsite. We can, what they call boondock. Because we have no black water tank, we don't have any gray water tank, which is your basic sink water. The only way we're going to be able to carry just plain water is either by a 5-gallon jug or something along that lines. As for using the restroom, well, if you're out in the woods, you find a tree, hope there's no poison ivy wrapped around the tree, dig yourself a little hole, do your business, fill up the hole. Mother Nature will take care of the rest. That's why I like some of the new toilet paper they have for RVing and camping. It's highly biodegradable, so once you get done with your business and throw it into your toilet for your RV, or throw it in a hole with the rest of your business, it breaks down fairly quickly. So you don't have a lot of paper sitting in a hole until Mother Nature, breaks it down. That's the type of camping that I kind of wanted to do as a kid, in my preteens, teens, is to just go out there and rough it. Whatever you can fit into your vehicle, whether you're sleeping in your vehicle or you're sleeping in a tent and you had to do your business, you found a tree. Try to remember which tree you used last, so you're not using the same area. So when you go to dig your hole, you're not, your camp shovel is not getting, crudded by what's in the hole. I have no problem doing it that way. Now, other people might, but I don't. There's also the thing that we watched, this gentleman, was it a gentleman or a lady? I can't remember. She basically took a 5-gallon bucket, and you can get the 5-gallon bucket from Lowe's or Home Depot, just an empty 5-gallon bucket. There's no paint or anything like that. And you can go to your camp supply store and they have these bags, basically. And she lined the inside of the 5-gallon bucket with these bags, and then put, I think it was sawdust or something like that. I don't know where they got the sawdust, but it was sawdust that he put inside the bag to absorb some of the, waste material. And then when he was done, he just tied it off, and that's where I kind of drifted off to sleep, or something happened. I just don't remember what he said he did with the bag. I don't know if he said he just took it and dumped it, or what the deal was. So I'm like, and what do you do? What do you do with the bag? Take it home and throw it away? What? So I don't know. Of course, there's another person that was RVing that what they did is they have a it's called a cassette porta potty. Basically, it looks like your regular commode, and underneath is where the waste and whatnot is deposited. And when you're ready to dump the bottom part, you just pull this handle, twist it, and push the handle in. It keeps the bottom part and the top part separated. I think that's also how you flush it. But and then you detach the top part, set the top part off to the side to maybe clean out the pot part, and then you take the bottom part to your dump site. Whether the campground has a outhouse type thing that you can dump stuff in, which I don't trust those things in certain parts of America, and I'll explain why in a little bit. Or you can take it to a lot of these RV places, or a lot of the KOA places have a spot where you can take your wastewater and whatnot and dump it, whether it's by hose and you're dumping your black tank, or dumping out your cassette unit. But there's a lot of options out there for roughing it, whether you're boondocking. And most of the people who do a lot of boondocking have solar powered systems where you can turn off you can switch it from solar to battery. And a lot of these solar units that are connected to, especially the RVs, they go directly into your battery and charge up that battery. So we're still figuring it out. We're in the planning stages. Yes, we've bought a few things. In fact, I want to show you some of the things we've bought recently that came yesterday. I'm not going to take it out of the bag. Well, I might take it out of this bag, but I might not take it out of the... Sorry for all the crinkling. Basically what this is, oh good, it does have a logo on it. Outdoor Masters is a company that makes this. And this is a fireproof mat. I don't know how big it is, unless it's written on this tag here. Jerry talked about it recently in one of her vlogs. It is a 36-inch by 46-inch fireproof mat. A lot of people will use these. They'll take it with them and they'll spread it out, and they'll put their fire pit on top of it, because unless the winds blow the sparks way off course, this won't burn grass. It won't cause fires. It will contain burning embers on it if it pops out of the fire pit. And we had several ideas for how to use it. I think Jerry talked about it on one of her vlogs. But our idea was to be able to use it as both a cook mat for our gas-powered stove, or if things, if we one of Jerry's ideas was to buy an old U-Haul, a small U-Haul trailer to put all our gear in it. And I'm like, if I have to do that, that means we've got way too much gear and not enough storage space in the van itself. But the idea was maybe if we start, if we're really, really enjoying the van life or RV life, that we'll start taking our fire pit with us. And I'm like, and how are we going to haul that? And that's when she came up with the idea of a small trailer. And I'm like, no. If I have to use a small trailer to haul stuff around unless we are literally living 24/7, 365 out of the van, I'm not getting a trailer for anything. So that's something that we'll probably end up arguing about in the future. But the other thing that arrived over the weekend was solar powered lights. I know a lot of people are like, well, solar powered lights only last so long because they only can get so much power, or you have to clean off the receiver. But she got these solar powered lights with these Edison bulbs and 2 different remotes. Now it's connected to a solar cell, and with all this stuff is a small stake to stake it into the ground, or a clamp to put the clamp. Oh, it's getting light. Okay, it's getting. I'm facing it up and turning, and there's this little indicator saying it's getting juice. Like, what are these indicators on the back now that I'm looking at it? On, off, mode. Okay, on, off, and mode. All right. And then there's a, what is this on the side? Sorry, the first time I'm actually looking at this. Oh, it's a USB, or it's a little charging port, but not for Apple. Well, that stinks. But we got those, or she got those, and she's thinking that we can either put them up on the inside of the van to light up the inside of the van. And I'm like, I don't think I need that much light in my van. Okay, I just need a flashlight or a single lamp. So she got that. Of course, we talked about it, so it's not like she got it on her own. We talked about it, and I was like, that might work. I mean, I don't know how much lighting I need in the van, but yeah, that will work because it's juiced up by solar energy, and we don't have to worry about, carrying a bunch of extra D-cell or AAAs or AA's or C batteries for a lantern. But one thing that I know about the solar energy stuff is, let's say we're out camping and we did get, the day before, we did get a good amount of sunlight, and we were able to juice up all our solar energy items. But then, we used up a good proportion of the lighting the night before, and next day it's raining and whatnot, and there's not enough lighting coming from the sun to charge this stuff up. Run out of juice from our solar cells. We have to wait until the next day it gets sunny to charge it up. That's my only concern. I don't know how long these things last, but hey, you know what? I'm working with what I got. Well, here's the funny thing. The next item I'm going to show you came in a box. It was, it was kind of a thin box. It was kind of long, and I'm like, well, one thing that we're missing, according to the shipping invoices and stuff we've already opened up, we're missing the sleeping bag. Now, this is supposed to be a new style sleeping bag that is good for cold weather, and it's very thin, and it's not that heavy, and it's not that bulky. And I'm expecting something bulky. You know, I'm expecting a big square box that you can fit a round sleeping bag in. Well, I open up the narrow square box, and I'm like, what could this be? It's black. You know, it's black. It feels like parachute material. And Jerry's like, oh, that might be the sleeping bag. I'm like, who tries to put a big old round sleeping bag in a freaking thin ass box instead of like a big square box? But yep, it's the sleeping bag. And in here, I didn't unroll it. It's supposed to be a sleeping bag and 2 pillows. And it's designed where it's 2 separate sleeping bags. One is smaller than the other. And you fit it inside, you know, you just zip them up to make one big sleeping bag. Well, I'm not going to pull it out to try it, but there it is. You know, the bag's in there. And it's got this cord that once you cinch it up, you can literally put this sleeping bag over your shoulder or over both shoulders like a backpack. And, of course, you know, we find out we get all our stuff and whatnot. And we get excited and we're like, oh, let's go do this now. And I'm like, mentally, I'm ready to do it. Physically, no. But we've got most of the stuff that we talked about getting that we knew we needed for for camping or anything like that. And I'm excited to go camp. I'm excited to do this. But I know for the most part, until we get some way to lay out everything and some way to store stuff and get, you know, big old 5-gallon jug of water and maybe a few other different things that we may need, I don't think we're totally ready. That and a factor with Jerry's brace and the whole 9 yards. I wouldn't take her camping until she didn't need that thing anymore. So if anything, wouldn't be doing anything like that until probably after July. But I love her enthusiasm and I love her spirit for wanting to do it. You know, she's getting excited to do it. So I will keep you guys updated on that. The last segment of my video this morning, it's going to be about a couple gifts that Jerry got me. All these gifts were either, well, 2 of them I kind of wanted, but I wasn't going to ask for them. But the first one I'm about to show you was a special. She watches this couple that has giveaways. Or they're not exactly giveaways. They're something that would, you know, you get them at a very good discount. Like this knife, I think she got on, I just said what it was. Oops. This item, knife, yeah, I'll say it. She got on discount. And it's not a big knife. It's just a simple pocket knife. It has, I don't think you can tell because the fact, oh, maybe you can right here. This piece right here is a belt clip. But it's more than just a knife. It's a safety knife. It has the glass breaker in case you get stuck in your car because of an accident. You can break the glass and climb out of your car. It has the seatbelt cutter. That's what this is. The seatbelt cutter in case you have to cut yourself out of your own seatbelt. And then, of course, the blade itself. And, oops, I'm going to use my right hand because it's sturdier. But this right here, people go, what is that? Well, you pull down on it, your blade comes up, and this top part you just use to pop it open. I'm not that skilled yet because I haven't been playing around with it. And then there's no way to, close the blade. There's what they call a locking mechanism inside the housing. And you can barely tell that extra piece of metal that's running up the top. You're supposed to push it in. See if I can do it right with just one hand. Push it in, and it unlocks the blade so it comes down, and you just use the reverse method of opening it to close it. I think it's a nice gift. I mean, it'll be good for camping too because the blade is pretty good. It's by Rush Deer. I almost said Rush Buck, but Rush Deer. It's good quality metal. I'm gonna say it's military, almost military, if not right up there, close to being military grade type blade. And I can use it for whittling, or I can use it for cutting produce, meats, whatever, while camping. It's a multifunction. I mean, it is basically a multifunction simplified survival knife. Now I would not classify it as a survival knife because it doesn't have all the old-fashioned survival knives where it was just one big blade with a hollow handle that had like fishing line or certain kinds of things that people might need while out there in the wild without much more than whatever they can carry in a backpack. But like I said, this will help me if ever I get into trouble, car accident, I have to cut myself free of a a seat belt, or bust open my window. It's a good quality knife. Next thing I'm going to show you is the other thing the next thing I'm going to show you is something I wanted. I did not, it was not a special order, did not get a discount for it, but it's what they call a legendary planner. And I haven't really looked at it since I got it because I got it last night. But I saw it online and I kind of wanted it because it has the front section has what they call a awareness and self-discovery area to write down various things, my vision, and basically my dreams and my plans, what I want to do, for the future or whatever I've been dreaming about. They got several pages, and then they got an area that's just, you can draw stuff or write stuff on there. And then, of course, it has my 1-year goal, health, fitness, career, business, finance, net worth, personal development, family and friends, romance and relationships, which I don't need, fun, recreation and hobbies, and then spirituality. This area called my strategy, my daily routines, 3-month goal, my tactics. A lot of the stuff I'm going to have to read, but it's got a whole front section of stuff like that. Then it's got the unmarked. So you can mark it. I can start it right now, or I can wait until... it looks like I got enough in here to probably start next month. Yeah, I could probably start on April 1st. Or not April, June. But it's got a lot of... the first part is just the yearly, monthly and yearly. I thought I got a daily in here. That's what I'm kind of looking for. No, I don't see daily. Which is fine because I don't have to have... And then, of course, in the back it has like a little pocket with a bunch of stickers and whatnot, which I will never use. How many? Looks like it's got 3 different ribbons for page markers. But I'll have to read their diagram, their information. But I thought it looked good online, and I figured I'd try it out. Of course, me, I I like the planners that have the month and then the days, but I'll use it. And then Jerry surprised me with a little gift. And I'm gonna take the band that goes around the whole thing. Actually, no. I think I'll show you what it looks like with the band still on here. But she got this little journal that says, you know, to my husband. And it's got this nice strap, and on the end, yes.
I'm sorry to disturb you. You know we have something in the wash machine?
Yes, I'm going to do my washer, and I'm going to finish it up here in a second.
Okay, because I didn't think you'd been doing laundry for a couple days, and I thought, is you know we have something in the wash machine?
Ooh. Okay. Thanks, Mom. But it has this nice little strap so it doesn't cut into the actual leather. This is, I don't know if it's pleather or actual leather, but it says here on the front, and I'll show it to you in a second. To my husband, thank you for being an awesome partner in life, even on days I fail to be a better wife. I promise that I will love you in the moments we're together and the times we are apart. I love you always and forever. And it's a nice little journal booklet. And that's what it looks like in the front. Oh, there we go. So, it's a nice one. In the front, it has 6 spots for different cards, like credit cards, your ID, or whatnot. And then it has just what looks like a booklet with lines in it for a journal. And it has another little booklet that's just open pages for whatever. If you can write in a straight line without, ending up going halfway across, then you're doing better than I am. But then it has a little pouch in the back for like pencils or whatnot. So if you're like artsy, like Jerry is, you can hold a couple colored pencils, something like that, and use a second blank pad to draw. I'm not a drawer. I'm not an artsy-fartsy type person. Which I'm not trying to put my wife down or anybody else who is into arts and can do that kind of stuff. But it's a cute little booklet, and, I appreciate it because, she's thinking about me. And I appreciate everything she does for me, even though as of late, let's just put it this way. I know she's been pretty much in bed for months because of the cancer and whatnot. And I'm the one who's doing it, and she does appreciate everything I do, even though sometimes it's hard for her to express it in a variety of different reasons, or just my stubbornness don't, always recognize the appreciation. And she didn't have to get me anything to show me the appreciation. I mean, I know she ordered these things before my colonoscopy, and she did as much as she could to help me out the last 2 days, Friday and Saturday. And because I wasn't feeling all that well, and she let me rest and do what I could do, which unfortunately was not as much as I wanted to do, but under the situation, it has to be expected. It has to be expected that I can't do everything myself. And not that I did not appreciate the 2 days of doing nothing, but because of that, today is one of those days where I'm like, where do I start? I know one of the things that I have to do is laundry because it's overdue. Usually I started on Saturday morning, but no. Jay Ann and I have to sit down and do some stuff and talk about what we're going to do financially after we pay the bills. Are we going to hold on to the money, or are we going to spend some more money on camp gear? I think she said she wants to hold off on buying more camp gear until she knows what's going on, because it will become overwhelming and I will not know where to store it. Right now it's kind of being stored in here because I have kind of the room, but I think what I need to do is I need to take the larger of the boxes and consolidate most, if not all of it, into one box or one thing, one item, so I can put it someplace not out of the way, but not in the way, if you understand what I mean. It's in the room, but it's not causing a headache. That in fact, I need to go into the bedroom and just do some more organizing and straightening out and cleaning, because, well, actually it's not because, I mean, the gentleman who comes in to do what needs to be done, or what I can ask him to do, does his best, but when there's objects in the way, it's kind of hard to sweep and whatnot in the in our bedroom. So it's kind of one of those. He does what he can. He does what he's asked to do, which is not too bad. I mean, I'm not gonna give him a hard time, because he does what he does what he can, and I think he does a really good job in certain in most circumstances. But I can't fault him. I really can't. I'm actually happy he does what he does. It saves me some back issues and whatnot. So anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, because I've got stuff to do and my brain is starting to go into a weird, hey, we got stuff to do, let's get going, otherwise you're not gonna do nothing but sit here and yeah. So anyhow, if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments about this video, go ahead and place them in the comment box. If you're new to my channel and you want to hear more of our adventures, or what's going, just more about our lives and our plans and our desires and all that fun stuff, our life, basically, go ahead and your choice to hit the subscribe button. Once you do, there's a little bell that will pop up, and once you click on that bell, YouTube will let you know when I put in my next video. So until next time, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and see you on the flip side.